Audio Jungle.
I think what's really interesting about your path is that you bring this kind of next level experience with people to it, right? And so you kind of have a different perspective probably than a lot of folks who run a laundromat business. Can you talk a little bit about how that shows up for you and kind of your day to day?
Yeah. I am, like I said, I'm not a clean person, but I'm so grateful that we purchased it from meticulous people who were very good at like operationally keeping the business maintained. And I was able to just adopt that and not have to focus on that. Not my strong point at all. But people is my strong point. And so I really use myself as the example. I try and put myself in the position of people using the laundromat. Where are the parts, what are the things that confuse me? And so how do I like make sure that I lower the barriers for confusion? And then also just recognizing like what do people need? Everyone needs to clean their laundry, like whatever. That's what they need, and we're going to provide that for them. But what else do they need? So when people walk into our store, I always train my staff to assess what the person needs. Do they just need to get their laundry done and not be bothered and have an easy, clean experience and feel safe and go and not talk to anyone and go? And you can tell when that's what someone needs. That's what we give them. But then there's also other people who we are literally the only human contact they have each week, truly. And they need a friendly face and they need someone who acknowledges them as a human being. And they need just someone to chat with a little bit. And that is what we do. And so it's really about assessing each person who comes in and assessing with the goal of that they feel better when they leave. So whatever that human need that they have, that's what we try and focus on. And that's you don't need to be a laundry expert to know that. You don't need to be an expert in any industry to know this is people. Like people have different needs and find out what those are, pay attention to them and meet them. It's yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. So you this is second nature for you. This is easy, right? Like you know the tells, like you know behavior. Talk a little bit about though, like what are the signs, right? Like how do I know if somebody's like, hey, they actually want to engage in conversation with me versus, I don't really want anybody to chat with me. I'm just here to like wash my clothes and get out.
So we greet everyone. The staff is trained to greet everyone when they come in the door and when they leave the door. And that's for a couple different reasons. One, it's safety. I want people to know that we're paying attention to what they're doing. And I
Yeah.
want everyone around us to know that we know who's in the building. So we are paying attention because that will make people feel more safe anyway. And then, so once you greet someone and say hello, some people will not even look at you. You kind of know that they just want to be left on their own, on their own. And some people will start engaging. And then if they say hello and start engaging, then we can try just like a little small talk. And their response will tell you everything. If they just want to be left alone, it's very clear again. But some people,
Yeah.
you just open the door and the floodgates open. And the goal isn't to spend our entire day providing therapy to someone, right? But it is to make someone feel valued and feel safe and feel like
Yeah.
we're happy to have them here.
Yeah. I mean, it's a time. Yeah. Like it's not necessarily for everyone.
Right.
It's not an enjoyable process, right? Like,
Right.
I'm gonna go do my clothes. I got to do this chore.
Right.
You're going to do a chore,
Yeah.
and if that can be a pleasant experience, you're more likely to come back. You're more likely to give good reviews, to tell your friends. All of these kinds of things are really additive, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And also going to the laundromat can be really anxiety provoking for a number of different reasons, right? It may be you don't know how to use the machines. Maybe the cost is really just every dollar that you spend is really anxiety
Yeah.
provoking. And I try and normalize all of that. Like I'll use myself as an example or just kind of say, oh no, you're not alone. We have to teach people every single day. Or yeah, the costs really are expensive. It's really hard. Maybe if you I bet your laundry could fit into this smaller machine, which is cheaper, or you don't need that many minutes on the dryer. Like I really try and assess like how do we lower someone's anxiety. Or there's a lot of, and these are my people who come in with like parents who come in with so much laundry and it's so disorganized
Yeah.
and so dirty and they're like they feel so ashamed because they're kind of a hot mess. And I'm like, oh, you're my people, believe me, you should see my laundry, it's just as bad. Like Don't worry about
There's
it.
there's always so much of it, especially when the kids are little. You're like, how can there be so many clothes
Oh, it's
in such a small bag?
yeah,
I don't understand it.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
understand it.
And so everyone wants to feel normal. No one wants to feel shame. And whether that's normal about being stressed about money, normal about having a ton of laundry, normal about not knowing how to use a machine, like just help them feel okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Like, feel normal. Everybody, ultimately, everybody wants to feel normal,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you just want to feel like good about your position and what you're doing
Yeah.
and how you're doing it.